Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to the Bard's Tale. Welcome back to the Bard's Tale. I played this game when I was a child. And now we have a remastered version because the Bard's Tale 4 is coming out. This is the early part of game. What do we got here? Shadows and Bloom. Audio, fine. Text scroll. I put this up. Yours will start down here. I put it up. Believe that you want me to. Okay, that's strange. I've never even looked at that. Doesn't really matter. Here we go. I'm going to show you the best way, in my opinion, being a Bard's Tale winner in the past on the Commodore 64. I think I've done it on the ST as well, maybe on the Amiga. Definitely did it on the 64. And I tell you what, on the 64 there was a lot of cassette loading. Okie dokie. These are the actual front covers and back covers of the games. That picture of the dragon there is definitely on the back of the Commodore 64 version. That magician there in the middle here, that was a Commodore 64 as well. Anyway, so we got Tales of the Unknown, Bard's Tale 1, the Destiny Knight, and the Thief of Fate. And these are coming out for the end of the year. Now, I don't imagine anybody's going to complete this. To be fair, you could probably complete this game if you played it for 24 hours. You could probably complete it, but that's very boring. So let's get in here and have a look. Legacy mode is the original game. You can look at this if you want. You're gonna have to stop it because I ain't gonna stay on it too long. Enabling this restores the way song magic works, but strength of songs the way it exists. Okay. Yeah, that's true. So putting this on, I've not put this on because I've left it. Well, you can't, I don't think, anyway. So, well, you can, but you can't. We can't play it because this is grayed out. But I remember on the 64, if you played Falcontine's Fury, it just used to buff your characters until the next time you had to reload a dungeon. It was pretty interesting. And this changes one of the main things in the game. But anyway, let's start. Yes, okay. If you cannot kill off all of the magic user monsters. Jesus Christ. Dang, dang. Is that a fat Fangar? Could be. Don't know. That's Castle Harkonnen. Harkonnen, like we're in June. Castle Harkren. Ding, ding. Treasure. Yeah, this Chris Christopherson looking mother trumper. Volume 1. Tales of the Uncanownuts. I'm not going to read that. You are the leader of this ragtag group of freedom fighters. Luckily, you have a bard with you to sing your glories if you survive. This is the stuff of legends. And thus the story begins. Okay, so let me see what's going on. You can hear some background noise of people enjoying themselves in the Adventurers Guild. Here we go. And when your bard gets thirsty, be sure to visit one of the many inns and taverns. The Scarlet Bard to the south has the best selection in town. Very important hint to start with. He's given us some good tips. What we're gonna do, I'm not sure what's going on with those shadows. They are going crazy. You start with the 6 characters that the game originally started with. So let's add them in. And if you save it as a party, which is the A team, and it says all of their names, let's add them in. Now, you're going to want to create your own characters, which we will do. But the important thing to remember here is these guys all have items. And this gives you way more information than the original game. So the original game, you wouldn't get any of this information, like damage minimum 1, maximum 16. The stuff in the brackets is to do with if you're trying to equip something else or do something else, you know, that's what it is. Anyway, you start with 1200 gold. You didn't used to. You used to start with 200 gold each, and you had to use you had to move the gold between characters. I remember it now. You had to move the gold between characters to do stuff, and you had to pool the gold. I must pool the gold. But let's have a look at Brian the Fist. He is a paladin, tells us over here, 30 hit points. What level is he? I don't know. He's level 2. All these guys are level 2. This is rubbish. Level 2, and they're only 16 hit points. Okay, so this... Herein lies the first lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Level 1 characters in this game, not on the Commodore 64 I would hasten to add, but on the other versions, the highest rolling hit points you could get on level 1 to start your character is 29. On the Commodore 64 it was 18. The highest you could ever get was 18, because all of these things have a maximum of 18. So strength 18, intelligence, dexterity, constitution, blah blah blah. So everything had a maximum of 18, and when they converted it to the 64 they forgot to I think it might be something to do with the racial additions of what you're doing. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is all of these things, strength, intelligence, dexterity, constitution, and luck, can all be 18. They all have a very important effect on the game. Every single time you level up, and as you can see, currently Brian the Fist has 1015, 10, 15, and he needs to get up to 2000 in order to go up to level 3. When you go to level 3, he will get an additional amount of hit points, and it's based upon his race, which is human, that's going to give plus and 0. His constitution, which is 10, which is probably going to give minus something, and that's it. And then there'll be a paladin, his class, so paladin, he will also have a range of hit points that he'll go up. So when you're creating your party, you're not going to use these Muppets because they are terrible, terrible, terrible characters. But what you're going to do is you're going to nick all their stuff. You're going to nick all of their stuff. Look at El Cid. I mean, look at that character. That's a great warrior. That shield looks terrible. He's only got a broadsword, which is rubbish. This is the key. You need to make sure you keep this. If you don't keep this, you're going to have a real hard time. So the first thing we do in the game is we create somebody. We're going to create a female hobbit rogue. Okay? Now, before I do that, I'll show you all of the classes. Warriors. There you go. It tells you what they do. Every 4 levels, they get to hit twice, which is very important in this game. So do paladins, and so do monks. Okay. Bards only get to hit once ever. Hunters only get to hit once ever. Rogues, they're really not that great in this game. The remake of this game, which is what we're playing, have made the rogue a little bit more interesting because this version, not the legacy version that we looked at earlier on, this version allows monsters. There can only ever be 4 classes of 4 sections of monsters when you fight them. There can be like Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, and they all have to be the same. And if all 4 of those slots are taken up, if you like, even if somebody conjures 100 dragons, doesn't happen very often. 100 dragons won't turn up because there's no free area for them to go into. The other thing is that the later games, the second game and the third game, they added in distance, and it was like to do with foot. So the first 10 foot, your people in the first ranks can attack them. If they were 20 foot away, they couldn't. 30 foot, you know, some of them would be up to 90 foot away. Especially in the later levels, there'll be wizards 90 foot away firing spells at you, which was an absolute nightmare. But that doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is, in this game, they've changed it a little bit. They've also changed the way that the ordering goes of your characters. The way that the original game worked is where Brian is now. That wouldn't be. He wouldn't be there. This would be the empty slot. The empty slot's down here. This would be the empty slot. Brian would be here. El Cid would be here. Marcus, blah, 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 blah. Everybody would be 1 down. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this would say S. And that's for your special slot. So that's why that was there. And what it was for you to allow yourselves to accept a traveling or wandering monster to join your team, or for you to create like a fake wizard or a fake demon or a real wolf or a whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can create things to join your party. What this game's done is it's changed the first game, which is what we're playing, similar to the second and third games, whereby you can have the first 4 people, first 4 slots attack, and the back 3 cannot, which gives you a very big conundrum whilst playing this first game, because it's very, very different to the other 2 games. But anyway, what you would usually do is what these guys have done. You would have a paladin, a warrior. Well, you wouldn't really do this. What you would have is in number 1 you would have paladin. In number 2 you would have a monk. In number 3 you would have a hunter. In number 4 you would have a bard. In number 5 you would have your 2 spellcasters, a magician, and a conjurer. But obviously, remember these 6 are they're all one step back, and you would be waiting for something cool to join you in your special slot. Because you know that only the first 3 are going to get attacked. Your bard is only really useful for firing his bard horn and playing songs. That's what it's all about. It's fire horn and various different musical instruments. The way that this game's changed it is fairly interesting. So, the way that you want to play this one is, firstly, is we get out of all of this. Let's remove all of these people, and we're going to create. First thing to do is just get your magic users out of the way. You could actually, because you have the ability to use all 7 slots, you could have magic user, magic user, magic user, bard, fighter, fighter, fighter. Fighter in as much as hunter, whatever you want. You can use whatever you want. I play this game a little bit different because in order to maximize the amount of time you can be in a dungeon, you don't want to be wasting your spell points casting spells to disarm traps. If you have a rogue, essentially in this game the rogue is totally, it's 5% useful, 95% unuseful, and the 5% useful is in this early stage. Okay, and don't worry, when you want to then get other characters involved, you can level them up much quicker when you're in deeper dungeons. So what I suggest you do is you fill all of these slots up. In the original game you couldn't, you could only have 6 characters, but we are going to make 7. We're going to have a magician down here in number 7, we're going to have a conjurer, we're going to have a rogue here, we're going to have a bard, we're going to have a hunter, we're going to have a warrior, and we're going to have a paladin. And I'll go through all of these different things and the reason why we're going to do it. So let's do the magic users first. So here we go. Patterned after the Tolkien elf. The elf is sleight of build, very inclined to magic. So we're definitely going to have an elf magic user. The gnomes, they are also more magically inclined as a rule. Highly intelligent, but not very robust. Fine. So we're going to have an elf and a gnome. 2 elves and gnome magic users. Let's do the elf first. Let's go with an elf magician. No, we'll go elf conjurer. Fine. Okay. What we want is the hit points to be as high as possible. The maximum is 29. The other thing we want for this dude is intelligence. We want the intelligence to be as high as possible and the luck to be as high as possible. And also dexterity. And then when you're a gnome, you get quite high dexterity. So we can just keep pushing reroll and you'll see how these change. You can push it quite quickly. Obviously, spell points we want as high as possible as well. 1616 is not so bad. But let's keep going. See if we can get something better. This is going to take your time. And when we get to one that looks... Wow, his intelligence score is up and down, isn't it? Really high and low. Right, well, we're not going to use this, but I'll tell you what. So for all of your fighters, strength, anybody who's going to hit something, strength needs to be as high as possible, obviously. Intelligence is purely to do with how much spell points in this game, how many spell points you get, and how many spell points you increase by every level. Dexterity for every character is how quickly in the... Obviously, if there are 7 characters down here, and you might be fighting however many people, it's how quickly you attack. So you go through all your list of saying attack, 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 do whatever, blah, 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 cast a spell, all the rest of it. Are you happy with all that? Yep, go. If you're fighting a load of hobbits and a lot of gnomes, they're all going to hit you first because hobbits and gnomes are very dexterous. They're going to just attack you first. you want a really high dexterity in order for you to get in early. For a hunter, having a high dexterity is brilliant, but we'll come to that. Constitution, the higher the better. I think the average is 13 or 14. If it's 14, you get +1. If it's 12, you get -1. I think 13 is the average score out of all of these. I think that's how it works. Luck is purely to do with avoiding magical attacks and traps when traps go off. Okay, your hit points and your spell points are what they are. Let's see if we can't find a decent roll for this dude. Now, the other thing you need to care about, and not so much for magic users, but for your other guys, is that you see this, the total of this, 9, 8, 12, 14, 14, is what? 40, 57. So 57, all of these can be a maximum of 18, which would be 90. So 57 is a good amount out of 90. That's the maximum it can be. And what I mean is all these points. 18, 18, 18, 18, 18. Every level, one of these points randomly will go up. Okay? One of them. You can't have anything to do with it. It will just go up randomly. So if you have luck as 1, you're in a real trouble, because all of your first 10 levels might all just go on luck, and you'll not be screwed, because you want your luck to be a bit higher, but just be careful of any of these that are super low. Better to have a balance of, if everything was 14, I would take it. Doesn't matter. The early levels you can deal with, and one of these things will go up every single level. Okay, but when you've got something that's like a 3 or a 2 or a 6 or a 5, you know, oh, that's dodgy. You should be worrying. But anyway, this is a conjurer. And do you know what? See, that's not bad. 16, these two for a conjurer is what you want. 16. The strength of 14 is ridiculous. She doesn't need 14 strength. She's never going to hit anything in her life. Constitution just means she's going to get -4 hit points on the roll of her thingy every time. Luck 12, not great either. 23 hit points is okay. Spell points 17. Yeah, no, do you know what? We're going to get rid. And you can keep doing this for as long as you want. And the way that these roll is they take into account the fact that she's, well, the sex doesn't matter whatsoever, but it takes into account the race that she is. That's all it is. It just takes into account what race she is. They have a higher and lower that they can have, and it's totally random. And it's not like you can only have a certain amount of points. It has to add up to 50. It has to add up to no, it can be totally random. So look at that. That's great. Look at that. How many is that? I can't even add that up in my own head. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 62, 67 total points. I'm going to take that. I'm not, because she's got intelligence 10. But that's not bad. This is a good roll. If that's, this is what you're looking for. Because 10 levels, these are all going to go up. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's a good roll, but we're going to leave it. See how you pause when you see something good? You'll be doing this for quite a while. We're not going to do it for too much longer. I'm just showing you how they fluctuate. Spell points 10 is no good. You want that to be as close to 20 as possible for the first level. The higher the spell points, the better, because that is what's going to be. See, the hit points 14 lets us down there. That could be good. And previously on the original games, you used to have a reroll, except, and then down here, well, not here, up here, wherever, there was a P, which was previous. So then you could just keep going RP, RP, and if you found one you really liked, like let's say that's not great, but let's say we like that one. Then we could just re-roll, and then we could push P and go back to the other one, re-roll, then push P, go back to the original one, re-roll, blah, blah, blah. I think you understand what's going on. How bad is that? Look at that, 12s, 12s everywhere. Seriously, you will be doing this for some time. But let me just tell you, for your fighters, you want strength and dexterity and constitution. Okay? For everyone, luck is about missing traps and missing magic attacks. Intelligence is only ever useful for magic users. It just governs how many more spell points they get on the random amount that they get every level. Dexterity is the same for everybody. It's just how quickly you will attack in the game. Constitution is over 13. It will give you a benefit. So if it's 14, it will give you +1. 15, 16, 17, 18, it will give you up to 4, is it? Blimey. On what your race will do. Your class, actually. Your race might also have a modifier on your how many hit points you get. The important thing is, when you're rolling these early characters, is hit some nice... let's jump out of this and go for, you know... Some of them can't be certain things. Half-elves, why can't they be a hunter? I want them to be a hunter, but you can't. So, let's go half-orc. Half-orc hunter. Brilliant. Okay. She doesn't look like a half-orc, but keep re-rolling. Half-orcs are really strong. They should be really high in constitution. And you want a high dexterity as well. 1717 was good, but I missed it. Ah, 1817 was good. You see, that's not bad. Dexterity is quite low. The thing about hunters, and I'll just give you a little brief resume on the attacking classes. The warrior is just a normal class, okay? He can use every piece of armor in the game. Okay, he can use anything, do everything, and he'll just hit brilliant. Paladin is the same, but they have an increased resistance to magic, and they also have a weirdly untenable sort of relationship with the undead in this game, in as much as you have no idea what they're doing. They don't get to cast any spells or anything, but if they are fighting the undead, they are supposed to have a buff in some way. Okay, it doesn't really happen that way, and they can use some things that the warriors can't use. There are certain weapons in the game later on in the game that they can use that the warriors can't use. Hunters, very, very different. They only ever get to hit once in the game. So whereas the warriors and the paladins and the monks, every 4 levels they go up, so level 4, level 8, blah, 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 they get to hit the first, obviously level 1, they get to hit once. Level 4, they get to hit 2 times. So whatever weapon they're using, they get to hit twice with it, and it just automatically does it. It just means they're guaranteed to kill something. And the majority of the interactions that you're going to have with creatures, certainly in the first 5-10 hours of playing the game, you just want to kill creatures quickly. Rogues and bards, if they're hitting things, they're going to be hitting for like 5 hit points, and it's going to be a pain in the bum, to be honest. Hunters, same thing. But what the hunter does is, as it levels up, there's a chance, depending upon the dungeon you're in and the monster you're fighting, that it can hit for 1 and critically hit it and just kill it immediately. So even if it's got 100 hit points, you hit it for 1 and it will kill it. The rogue as well, I should say, if you have him in the first 4 ranks, you can make him hide in the shadows, which you couldn't do in this game originally, but you can now. So you can make him hide in the shadows. If there is something within 10 foot, he can jump out, and if he hits it, he will critically hit it and he'll kill it as well. So a rogue is, I'm a big fan of the rogue. the Bard is almost the weakest character now in this game, despite the fact that you absolutely need to have a Bard in order to progress through the game. Anyway, there you go. And the monk is a strange one. I always used to have a monk, but after about level 5, a monk does better when he is not wearing anything and he is not carrying any weapon. So he almost becomes like a pack mule for random items. Not in this game now, because you have a 40 slot backpack of stuff. But the thing about him is he just can't use any of the cool items in the game. That, you know, whether it's armor, whether it's any, you know, he just can't use any of that cool shit. Which is, you know, you create a character that just can't use a big part of the game, which is looting and getting decent items. So I usually don't go with a monk. So let us have a look at the actual party that they give us. Paladin, warrior, bard, rogue, conjurer, magician. Fine. This is when I started playing this. I played this for an hour or so, 2 hours, whatever. This is what I use. I didn't use these people, but I used my own. I created my own guys. And there is one thing that you definitely need to do, and I'll show you it right now. Let's create a new bard. Okay, we're going to have a male. I always create a hobbit bard because he's going to be quick, dexterous, very swift, and he should have decent hit points and good luck as well. So we want dexterity, hit points, luck be high, constitution and strength as a secondary high. That's going to be great. Intelligence we're not interested in, so it doesn't make any difference. So we want as high of this as possible. Do you know what? 17, 17, 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 54, 62. So out of 90, that's quite a lot. I don't mind that. I'm going to go with that, and we're going to say we're going to have him. We're going to call him Oblong. We're going to call him Oblong, and there he is in the party. Now, the first thing that you need to do in your game, get out of the Adventurers Guild and get out of the tutorial. Here we are. Push, okay, is it? There's the map. Ooh, this is great as well. It auto maps for us. It tells us everything that's going on. Push J again. Push M, and it gives you a mini map on your. I don't want a new party order. Oh, jeez. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I don't want to do that. So I'm using WASD to turn around here. S obviously does backwards. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It'll spin around for you. Tells you that the bard's thing is there. As you move around, the map opens up as you would like. Now, when you get into a building, you look at your real map on J. Tells you you've been in there. You know that you've been in the house when it's grayed out here. Very important because there are a lot of clues. So I'm just looking, and you can see on the map as well, it looks grayed out. So I'm just looking in these buildings. I've already looked in those ones. I'm looking. I can't look in that one. Searching this room, you discover some parchment. Avoid traps. Higher level rogues. Excellent at opening out. Use the trap zap spell. I don't disagree. But if we look at our little journal, all of these things, they've hidden a load of, throughout the whole map, they've hidden a load of these little journal entries in the buildings. They've kept all the stuff from the original game, but they've also added a lot of stuff from the manual into these things. So this is, we call this an encounter. There's just a random chance of every square you move on. For each tick of the clock that you're playing the game, that something might attack you. So one skeleton, we're going to push fight. Brian's going to attack. Elsid's going to attack. Marcus, the bard, is going to attack. Sir Grady is going to attack. And the rest of everybody at the back, they can't attack because they're not in the front four. Let's see what happens. So, what happened was Oblong, who's our hobbit bard, he has the highest dexterity out of all of the other players and the skeleton. He went first. You can scroll up and down and look at what's going on with him. The skeleton then had the next highest, and he attacked us. And he hit Elsid for 7. Fine, you can see his hit points have gone down by 7. Omar, the wizard, the magician, was then next, etc., etc., etc. Then you have these idiots. Elsid, a warrior, hit for 2. Sir Grady hit for 5. He's a rogue. He's called Sir Grady. Merlin defends. Marcus, the bard, hit for 3. And then finally, Brian the Fist whacks the guy for 13. Kills it. Okay, so that's how the dexterity works. Who goes first in all of the different things that you do. Everybody gets 15 experience points, which is almost negligible. And the whole party receives 56 gold to win. Brilliant. That will happen very often. And you can just walk around the city exploring until you've opened up everything that you want to open up. Or there are other ways in which you quickly level up your path. Look, that's a temple. See how you can see the difference? That's a temple, clearly. Looks very different to all the other buildings around it. No other buildings look like that. Very good for healing, etc. So, as you can see, there's something in front of us there, a statue. Statue of a samurai warrior. You can attack or leave it. We're going to leave it. It faces you the other way around. And we can look back down at it. We can look at our map and we can see. It tells us everything that we get into on this map. It's really good, the auto mapping thing. Works really, really well. So this is just a random, and you can use the keys. You can say F, A, D, 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 yes. Whack, whack. Awful. One's dead. We killed them, but a gnome hit Brian the Fist. It's a gnome, for goodness sake. But we've got 22 experience points and 73 pieces of gold. So if we just click on Brian the Fist, we can see we're on 1052. We need to get to 2000. Wearing all these different things. Now, what I wanted to show you is, here's Oblong the Bard. All he's got is 2 lamps. But yeah, he doesn't even have 2 lamps. That's just the random stuff that's on everybody's inventory because nobody's got it equipped. What we want to do is we want to say, Marcus, thanks very much. And all I'm doing is clicking on them and pushing space and unequipping them. Then I'm going to click on Oblong and I'm going to say, well, let's do it. Let's put, it doesn't really matter. Let's just stick it all on. Watch his armor class going down. And the fire horn. We're then going to move him up there. We're going to move Marcus down here. We're going to cast a spell. Oblong is going to play. We want to go in here. That's the Adventurers Guild. Let's just have a look around here. That's the shop. We're going to run away. We don't care. I see. Sometimes you must be aware when you try and run away, Sometimes they don't let you run away. If we can kill them. Yes, we can. So Grady, the rogue, whacked the dude. Brilliant. Look at Oblong. AC -1. That's because he's got quite a high dexterity. That's the other thing that dexterity does. It automatically gives you a lower armor class. Look at that. Bit of money. Everybody likes fighting magicians because they give you a lot of money. Just mapping out a little bit around. Oh, we don't want to go up here. Well, we do. It doesn't matter. There's a gate, look. You stand before an iron gate, beyond which you lies Kylerian's tower. Not interested in that. We can't go in there anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. But let's go in this way. Oh, there you go. Kylerian's tower again. This is the blue highway. Now, if we look on the map, we came up from here. We looked at the Adventurers Guild. We looked at the shop. Then we came around this way. We turned around and we looked at all of these places just to open up the map. This is how the map works. The light spaces mean you haven't stepped on them, but you've seen them. The darker grey means that you've actually stepped on them. Same thing with these. The dark sort of, I don't know what, brown? I don't know what the hell colour is that. It's grey as well. But these dark grey means you've been in that building. The light grey means you haven't been in the building. How that works. And we get out of it. You don't have to have this thing on here. If you push M, it will disappear. Push M, it will come back again. I put it on because I find it really useful. But that's because I sort of know the maps anyway. And the other main feature, and you'll get to know this very well, where the Adventurers Guild is, you will know that Garth's shop is here. There's Garth. Hello. And when you come out, look at these. These dudes don't let you run away much, do they? Oblong, straight in there. Bosh. Well done. So, when we come out, you're always behind. As you can see, the arrow points to which way you're going. We go into that building. Oh, it gives you a load of stuff. Come back out, and you can see we're facing the other way, back to Guards, okay? Now, where the Adventurers Guild is, the only other place you really need to know about is straight north. Now, you don't know you're going north, but you do on this little map. It's sort of telling you, you're pointing north now. North, north, north. And you go west, 2 doors, and this little place here, the review board. This is where you go up levels, buy spells, change your spell users. Okay, get into that later on. Again, we've come out of it, so we're facing the way opposite. Tavern next to it. Here he is, the Dragon's Grog. You can talk to him. Let's pay him 25. Look for the review board on Trumpet Street. Hold on. Yeah, I'm pretty certain this is Trumpet Street then. Fine. Is it going to tell us we're on Trumpet Street? Yes, we are. We are on Trumpet Street. Where's the review board? There it is. So, these are the places you need to know. Now, on the map will go up to here, across here, down here, and across here. There's a whole area to explore in the city. And it would be a good idea to kick all these doors in. And just see if you get any more interesting things. What you will find is more of these gates with sentries on, I guess you could call. I'll just run. So we're on the blue highway now. We're going all the way up the top of the map. This is the castle at the top. See, there's a couple of statues here. If we look at the map, you can see we went all the way along there. And there's a statue there and there's a statue here. Now, if we try and attack these, I'll show you what happens. A stone golem, we're going to attack it. He's turned from a statue into a real stone golem. We're going to fight. All of our guys are going to attack it. We're even going to cast the spell Arc Fire on the golem. If this guy's going to cast a spell Vorpal Plating, which makes somebody's weapon better, and we're going to give it to... Let's give it to the Bard, Oblong. Marcus, and he can't cast us. He can't sing a song now because we gave his horn to somebody else. So if we try to cast a song, Bard song, it will go, "Oh, you can't cast a song because you don't have an instrument." So he's going to do nothing. And it tells you a list of what you've said. This is what we're going to do. First thing that's going to happen is, because we're level 1 or 2, this golem's going to be about level, maybe, I don't know, maybe level 10. It will probably attack first, and I'm almost certain it will kill one of these people. Bang. So, through that combat, what happened, the golem, because it was such a higher level, and it had a decent dexterity, and it's all to do with the level you are versus the skill points you've got versus the monsters that you're fighting. So the golem had the highest dexterity multiplier out of everybody, and it hit randomly Sir Grady. The 43 killed him. Oblong, the Bard, tried to hit the golem but missed because the golem's armor class, which like ours are here, was too low. He missed it. Brian the Fist, he actually hit the golem for 5. Elcid missed. Merlin hit it for 3. So the golem's been hit for 8 points. And that's all that's happened. So we could probably run away if we want, but we're not. We're going to carry on. I'm going to show you what goes on. So we're going to attack. This guy is now going to use the Firehorn. Use equipped item Firehorn. Merlin's going to attack because now Merlin's been pushed up. He's in the fighting line because the thief's dead. He's going to cast Quick Fix on Elcid. Try and heal him. And he's going to defend. And the first thing that's going to happen, Golem's going to kill one of them. But you see what happened there brilliantly? We've done that the first time. Because we made Oblong with such high dexterity, he was the very next person to go. He used the Firehorn. Firehorn's brilliant. It will, any group of monsters, you can have 99 of them and it will just fire it at them and they will all get burnt, fried for an amount plus a luck modifier, blah, 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 blah. Usually that's enough to kill almost every monster in it. The monsters in the game don't have huge amounts of hits. The bosses do. There are certain boss monsters and various different things. But the majority of monsters, if they've got over 50 hit points, you're kind of thinking, whoa. That's quite a lot. So the golem's dead. But now because 2 people are dead, usually what would happen if you had 6 people, each person would get 512 experience points. But because we've got 2 people dead, they're not going to get any experience points for this battle. But it's still going to be more than 500 odd because we've only got 5 alive. So there you go, 614. And if you then click into Brian the Fist, he's so very close to being the next level. Now we can go through the gate. And what have we got here? A grey dragon. Let's attack it. That's a real grey dragon. So what this grey dragon can do, it's a much harder monster than run away. Okay, so we've run away. Let's have a look. So here there's a giant and another golem, and then here is the grey dragon. Now these are here to stop you from going into this place too early. And ranking up too much experience points without doing anything, essentially, if you're not. But and look, the grey dragon is 20 foot away. I didn't even notice that the last time I did this. That's interesting. So you can't even attack it straight away. It's 20 foot away. So all of these guys can't even hit it. So we're going to advance, and what it's probably going to do is breathe on us. And it'll breathe on us, and I'm almost certain it's going to kill us. No. Brilliant. So it advanced before us because now we know it's going to attack first. Because it advanced before we did. So now it's here within fighting distance. Let's kill it. Kill. Use the fire horn. Cast arc fire on the grey dragon. Terrible spell. It's never going to kill it. Cast. Wow. All those magicians. Oh dear. You might as well. Oh gosh. Air armor. Doesn't make any difference. Marcus dead. Here we go. And as soon as the grey dragon breathes on us, we're going to die. When you see this, the original game, very. He looks happy though, doesn't he? Sorry, bud. That's alright. Don't be bashful. Say what you want. Alas, your party has expired and gone to Adventure Heaven. And they're actually playing. Now, what it does is. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. Now, all your parties are dead. Now, very importantly, if you remove all of these guys into the Adventurers Guild, they will all be dead whenever you try and add them back in. The way that the old game used to work is, in order to save your characters, you had to come in here and you had to remove them in, and then in order to carry on with the game, you had to add them back into your party, and that would save them to the character disc or the character tape. That's what you would do. Now, because we have... Oh, you need active parties. Oh, of course, sorry. So what we can do is delete these guys. Hopefully it won't delete them all. Remove. Right, we'll get rid of them all. Right. Now if we add them, yeah, look, they're all dead. Brilliant. So we're going to have to now, what you would have to do is just do this. DY, 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 DY. And what you've done is you've lost all of the equipment that you need. Okay? That is what you really needed. Is you needed to take all of the equipment from those people. Oh, we're in a bit of a... I can say we're in a bit of a blocked scene there. Couldn't... But I've broken the game. So we're going to start brand new from the start. And I'll show you again. I know this is a bit of a pain, but all I'm doing is I'm telling you the best way of creating your party. So if we get rid of, and I'll show you my party in a sec. I play pro. Thank you. So the first thing you do is you add the A team, okay? Then essentially you just go into inventory and you just unclick all of their items, okay? Literally like this. This is the only way you can take their items. Otherwise you'll create your guys and they will have nothing. And you won't be able to do anything. And it'll be really hard for the first... forever. Okay? And then you remove them all. That's done. And then you create your guys. Let's just create a male. Let's just go with a dwarf paladin. 18, 16. See, that's good. The dexterity is not so good, and we really want hit points to be really high. Just push R to do this. Ah, 18, 17. I went past it. That was a good one. 29 hit points. Did you see that? That was good. 18, 15. No, not good enough. Dwarfs really should have 18, 17. They're not going to have great dexterity or luck, really, but they're going to have decent enough some things. Come on, come on. Roll me a good one. Come on, come on. It's a good one. It wasn't great, but it was quite. Everything was quite high. Luck 3 is going to kill you. That's no good. Can't take that. $21. Do you know, if that was 29, I might take that. The intelligence we're not interested in. Oh, see that luck? Luck 4, that's a killer. However, here is the way that you rationalize this out. 18 means he's going to hit plus 5 for everything he hits. Fine. Intelligence means nothing to him. It doesn't make any difference. Dexterity means he's going to have plus 1 dexterity against everybody else. That's cool. Constitution means he's going to have plus 3, which is great, which means he should have more hit points. Luck 4 means he's going to have like minus 9 on luck. So he's essentially going to get hit by every spell that gets cast. However, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 63 total score out of 90 that we want means as he levels up, he's going to be doing quite well. And this probably will go up. What you don't want is the intelligence to go up at all. Every other skill to go up, that's perfect. His hit points will go up by a factor of whatever. We're going to accept that character. We're going to call him Evan the Baptist. Bapty. We can't even call him Evan the Baptist. That's terrible. Let's call him Bob. Okay. Then what we do is we go into him, inventory. We give him a halberd, a shield, gauntlets, helm, and any other stuff that he may well use, which looks like chain mail. Okay, that's everything he needs. Armor, helmet, gloves, shield. Okay, perfect. We'll go into the city. Don't want the tutorial. Go straight into the shop. Bop. Wait a minute. Come out, actually. Look at them, Bop. Gonna get rid of the chainmail. Nobody wants that chainmail. Go in. He is gonna buy late mail. Off. Purchased and equipped. Already down at 1. That is what we want. We have a look at this dude now. Plate mail, halberd, tower shield, gauntlets, helm. That is him sorted. When we cast our spell with our bard, that will go down even further, etc, etc. 27 hit points. This guy is like 18 strength. He's going to be smashing it. 14 dexterity is not bad. Constitution is fine. He could probably go down here and kill this samurai on his own. Let's have a look. A samurai. He's going to kill it. Yes. Okay, didn't kill it. Going to kill it now. Didn't kill it. See how much? Okay. Oh, it's quite hard. Bang, he's killed it. And he's got 1,000 experience points. Okay. You can only do that once. Okay. Bear that in mind. So, but this, obviously, if we did it with all the other people, that 1,000 experience points would be shared between everybody else. Now, the first thing we need to do before we advance him, which I will, we'll heal him. It's 10 gold for each 1 point. That can get very expensive. It gets extremely expensive if they are withered, poisoned, insane, all these various different things. Right, let's go into here. Now, I do not condone doing this. However, you can save the game. This is my group, badasses. This is the level save. Done. We're going to save it as test. Save the game. It saves immediately. We go into the advanced board. We say, right. I give you a little. I'm saying, whenever I advance my guys, if they have full hit points, generally they get a better hit point buff than if they don't have full hit points. Same with spell points. If they have full spell points, generally they get a better spell point buff than if they don't. That's totally not ratified in any way. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that's why. We'll run away from those thieves, but we're going to go in. Going in. Advancement. Now, he has enough to go up. Usually you would do this so when everybody is over a certain amount, you can do them all at once. 18 hit points plus 1 luck is a bloody great level 1 to level 2. So he is now only level 2 and he's got 45 hit points. When you thought of the level 2 characters that start the game that had 20 odd hit points, okay, so it's 18. I think the maximum you can go up every level is 18. I think the maximum you can go up every level is 18, which is why when we were talking about the hit points and the starting hit points earlier on the Commodore 64, I think the programmers had just put that in as the first level can only go, they just put it as level 0 to 1 is 18, so that's blah blah blah. Anyway, there you go. Umbop, the paladin, this dude, 18 strength, he's kicking it, 14 dexterity, he's kicking it quick, constitution 16, gave him 18 hit points. Come on, that's great. Intelligence 11, that could be 1, I wouldn't care. If that was 1 and this was 15, I would be much happier. Luck 5, he's going to get hit by every spell. Doesn't really matter. But that is what you want to do. And because we haven't restarted the game, it still keeps this this map that we've got that we opened up. There you go. That is the first early points of getting into the game. This game gets so good, it gets nuts. I mean, totally nuts. If I load up my game, badasses. This is the first party that I played with in the game. See where they are. And I've filled the whole roster with my own party. And Paladin, Hunter, Warrior, Bard, Rogue. The reason why you have the Rogue for the early levels. See who hits first. See that? Keith, the thief, he went first. Kitiara, who is the magician, I'll check to see. I'm pretty certain she'll be the gnome. Yasmin, the hunter. I'm surprised. No, Yasmin's a warrior. She must have great dexterity to beat the hunter. Pretty good. Yeah, 16, 15. There you go. 18, 16. So you can clearly see who is going to go first on doing what they're doing. But it's, if you look at the map, You know, I haven't been in all of these places yet. As you can see, I actually have walked into those spaces, which is very interesting. Then you have various different places. The game is phenomenal. Enjoy playing it. We're going to get back into it with these guys at some point. Or I might start from the very beginning again. I don't know. These are my dudes. I was in a real bad place at some point where I thought everybody was going to die. We had no spell points. Spell points are very important in getting you out of where you are. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. It's one of my favorite games. I'm loving Bard's Tale 4. I've been playing it a little bit. Play it a little bit more when they've done a bit more on it in the beta. But this game, the remake of this, is fantastic. They've done a great job. Yeah, loving it. It's awesome. It is fantasticalodo bedono no nos mila polola polo. What it is. So that's a great. I remember that. It was a great little picture. So there you go, guys. We'll pick up on this. How old are they? Level 10. They're all level 10. It might be 9. Yeah. I added her in because I had these 4 at the front, and I was like, look, the rogue just doesn't need to be there. But I'd rather have one of my characters in here ranking up than like a dwarf with 4 hit. Anyway, get in this game, enjoy it, and play it, and I will see you. Oh, look, there's the Grey Dragon. We don't want to go in there. I will see you next time.